It is 3 o'clock in the morning as I stand here, and no, this isn't another I fucked up thing. It's a pay-per-view night. And we just finished, well, we've been talking, but for a bit, because it finished a lot earlier than I thought it was going to. But we finished Payback, and Payback was... Yeah. Most of the card was basically just a Raw. Like, most of the card could have been a Raw if they really wanted it to be. And then the main event we have questions about, and it all kind of feels like there's something missing. Especially for having a pay-per-view 1 week after a pay-per-view. There's still no full turn between Sasha and Bayley. Was no retribution again. There was no real anything really of any of the things that have been rumored and such. But we do still have to do Day of the Day. I did forget up until this point, which is why I'm doing it now. But I remembered before I went to bed. And the rule is before I go to sleep, or give up on the idea of sleep, and I definitely intend to go to sleep not too long after doing this. But yes, National Toasted Marshmallows Day. I like it. It's been a while. Like, I don't do open fires a lot, never alone getting marshmallows. Never alone both of those things happening at once. I don't know. That might be something to do at some point. It's just get a bunch of people around, make a small fire in the background, get some marshmallows. Just hang around a fire with some marshmallows. Maybe some hot dogs or something as well. Because we are slowly getting to the point where hanging out with people is reasonable, as long as it's sort of the same group of people. So, yeah, maybe something to do. Something a bit different. Speaking of something that we could have done as a group, if it wasn't for the world imploding, it's National Beach Day. And I feel like, one, if there was more planning involved, which I probably would have put more planning into this, as far as this context goes, if the world hadn't imploded, and again, if the world hadn't imploded and all that, I think we probably would have been doing this episode from the beach. The A beach, at least. There is a couple nearby. Well, at least not too difficult to get to, if not nearby. And finally, National Grief Awareness Day. Grief can hit a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But I feel like it's mostly talking about loss. No, not that loss. No, like the loss of people, and that it sucks, right? But it happens. I've mentioned it before, but generally, as far as outlooks on life, I feel like when you realize how awful everything is and how we in essence are born to die, and there's probably more purpose to life than just that, but in the end, that is a fact of life, as we are born and we die. And we're doing more and more of a better job of being able to live longer, and that's wonderful, but we do have to die eventually. And that and a whole bunch of other reasons why, life is an awful, awful thing. When you realise that, I feel like you have two options. You either let it get to you, get depressed, get all fucked up about it, or you take the probably more coping mechanism one of taking everything as a joke. Because you can either see it as being awful, or you can see it as dark, dark humor. And I think that's the method I go for, is just everything is... Like, I prioritize comedy in everything anyway. So, yeah, I pretty much see everything as a joke. Because it is. Life is awful. And that's hilarious. Because I'd rather it be hilarious than depressing. And those are basically your two options. And yes, me saying it is hilarious may make me sound more insane. But at least I'm not depressed about it. Thank you for watching. If you have indeed watched this far, do consider subscribing. Join the broken flock of shattered sheep. It would help. It would be appreciated. And I would also be appreciated if you share these videos, because I don't get much promotion outside of... Well, I don't get much promotion from YouTube. That's at least I don't think I do. Doesn't seem like I do, but a lot of the time. Remember that our goal here is to change the world. Remember to embrace chaos. Remember to love yourself, especially since we're talking about grief. Remember that loved ones pass, but they'll always live on in your heart. And yeah, look out for people. Look out for each other. Want the best in people, not the worst in people. Don't be asking for shit for free for no reason. Care, give a shit, put in the effort, and actually try. I mean, here I am standing here at like gone 3 now. Well, gone 3 now, considering I started at 3 in the morning, doing this, telling you to love yourself, to love each other, to have the best time you possibly can, regardless of restrictions. To go a little bit crazy, because crazy is fun, as long as it's controlled crazy. I mean, even uncontrolled crazy to some degree is fun, but, you want to keep some control. Which is why you want to let the crazy out a little, because otherwise the crazy might take control. The crazy might overwhelm you. If you keep fighting it, you might lose. And God knows what happens when you lose. It's an interesting game, is it not, mental health? It's also fucking awful, but all of this is. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. I'll see you tomorrow.